So this video might get a little touchy. I want to just kind of open up to you guys about something that, I'm not necessarily say I struggled with, but I was definitely becoming dependent on it. And this is a huge reason as to why I think at any age you should be training yourself to become self-aware. As you get older, we all know this, as you get older and you start to become an adult, life gets hard. And so hard to where it's kind of a hard transition to go from nothing to something in a blink of an eye, or at least what seems in a blink of an eye, even though it's years. And that is alcohol, okay? So this is one thing that I want to share with you that I never told anybody, not even my parents, but I struggled with alcohol, like drinking it all the freaking time, because a majority of the time it was not only mental health, but it was also stress related. So I would drink multiple alcoholic beverages before I went to bed, and then I would say like, man, I actually went to sleep and I felt great the next morning. Like legitimately, I didn't get hungover. Like I built up such a high tolerance that, which I'm moving out, and one of the things that I aspire to do is not buy alcohol, or at least very minimal of it, because it's so expensive. And since I'm going to be on my own, I want to be able to save money. So I have a 6-pack here because this was my last 6-pack that I drank within probably 2 days by myself. And I bought it's sad that a 6-pack I went through in 2 days, and that was it. Like I gave myself no more after that. It was a lot worse back in the day because I would make sure I was getting a really, really heavy buzz. Not to the point where I was getting drunk, but this is the self-awareness. Like I was self-aware that if I got drunk, it would not be a good morning, and especially on a work day or a work week. And after that heavy buzz, I'd pretty much go to bed. I'd be like, this was awesome. Like, I'm glad I got to this far. And then that would be it. I'd wake up the next morning, I'd be super, super good. So, fun fact, before drinking, it was actually smoking weed. And I was actually talking to my coworkers about this today. I was like, I'm glad I stopped doing that, but would I still do it again sometimes here and there? Yeah. But then that's self-awareness. It's like your ability to want to do it and actively still do it here and there is one thing, but to actively do it and be super addicted to it because it numbs stuff is a different story. And I would, like, this was back when I was like 20, 21. Like I quit smoking, period, when I was like 22. It's so bad for you mentally, and it's so bad for you in terms of if you're trying to gain weight. Now, this was the thing that I noticed, is that mentally it was screwing me up so much in the head that it was like making me have false thoughts. It was making me think different. Like whole personality just changed, characteristics just changed. I'm still an advocate for weed. I just am not someone that likes to partake in it anymore. So I don't want to make that message out here that like, oh, weed's bad. Like, trust me, there's scientific reasons of weed being good for people that have certain diseases and mental issues and whatever. But for me, it just personally didn't work. It actually had so many negative effects to me that I was just like, okay, this is it. I'm done. But before that, it was just horrible. Now, I'll give you this little thing too. Fun fact, I got a lot of my weed in Indiana, which is illegal, by the way, like very illegal. I got a strain from my friend's brother, and that was actually laced with acid. And I only know that because the things that I was describing that I was seeing on an everyday notice for 6 to 8 months in a period, it actually, believe it or not, was matching up to anybody who actually tried acid. And when you mix different things with different things, it's not good. So, there's that little deep dive into kind of like the back part of my history there. I think, again, in moderation, it's fine, but when you're actively doing it to kind of numb certain things and kind of make things seem a little bit better, it's not the way to go. Currently to this clip, I have not drank in I think it's been about a month. That's not true because I just told you I just drank this a couple days ago. Okay, so I think it's been 2 weeks actually. Wait. Yeah, I think it's been about 2 weeks since I've drank anything, which this was my whole last thing. So it's not something to be proud of, like if you have to have this, like a certain amount to do all that. By the way, it's also not a good thing if you build up a tolerance for alcohol, as close as it might seem to say that to your friends. It's not. It means that you're not, it's not good. Everybody should have a BMI, which is the body mass index, and they should take the amount of alcohol they consume to that ratio. And trust me, my BMI is pretty bad. I mean, it's gotten better, but it's pretty bad. And the fact that I built up a tolerance is even worse. Because theoretically, like, obviously everybody's different. Like, you could be super skinny and build up a super great tolerance, but something you also have to understand is that when you have fat on you, the alcohol just gets stored in the fat. Versus if you have no fat, like myself, you just have a little bit of muscle, it just goes right through you. But guess what? It also hits you quicker. So the fact that you build up a higher tolerance means that even if it goes through you quickly, well, guess what? Now you're so used to it that it just keeps on building and building and building. So if I could tell you anything from a 25-year-old here trying to figure out life, using substances, no matter what it is, if it's as simple as drinking, or if it's as simple as marijuana, or even mushrooms, it's not the answer. Just, there's so many different things that can release your endorphins naturally that provides such a better alternative than this. And I highly recommend it because it'll make your life so much better in the long run. So if you guys can relate to this, maybe hit that subscribe button. Hopefully I can, enlighten you to, maybe make a change in your life, or maybe make a start that's changing your life to say like, hey, I related to that and that used to be me and now I'm a lot better. So if that's the case, see you in my next video.